everyone. It's Thursday.
Afternoon.
We're all here except for Jess. So we have Heidi, Kaylee, Barb. So Barb's working on something. What are you working on, Barb?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
I am ruching. That's
She's
what I'm doing.
ruching.
I'm doing a big ruche because I am making special signs.
Yes,
ribbons.
they are very special. You'll see them.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You want to talk first?
Okay. And then I scoot out of here.
You can scoot out of here. Yeah.
All right. I got this news this morning on my emails, and I thought I'd let you know, just in case you're interested, that Bernina is going to have a Super Saturday on October 18th, one day only. We will be here. Luke will be here for sure because he does a lot of the financing stuff. But you can get 0% for 72 months on anything over $10,000. And that would be, I think, the 990, the 790 Pro, any of the Q series. So if you've been thinking about one of the Q series, or you talk to them at Madison, this would be a great opportunity for you to get some financing at a really good deal. The other deal is 0% for 48 months on anything over $3,500. So that includes almost the whole entire rest of the line, the 5s series, the 4 series. So if you've been thinking about a new machine, this is the perfect day to come in and finance.
Cool.
0%.
Nobody does 0%
I know.
financing.
I saw that this morning and said,
for a while now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the proper information.
Perfect. So you got 4 years or 6 years to pay for your machine.
Yep.
And we figured it out when we were at the show that say you bought the biggest and best you could, you only had to quilt like 3 quilts that month to pay for your machine.
Yeah.
If they are around $200 each, which most quilts are.
Yeah.
When you quilt them
for
people.
It's a really good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can quilt 3 quilts in a day and a half.
Oh yeah.
Or one day if you're motivated.
Really...
Depends on who's paying you.
Yeah.
Or if you're working for yourself or if you're working for somebody else.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good news.
Yes. So
all right. Especially right after the show, that they might have seen them. They might have thought, oh yeah,
maybe.
But maybe
now's the time to pull the trigger.
Okay. Well, thanks, Barb, for that.
All right.
Get back to making what you're making.
Oh gosh, yes, because it's
for market.
It's for market.
So we want to talk about market. But before we talk about market, while you're still jumping on and saying hi, all that stuff, because that's how we pick winners for our show here today, is by you make comments. And Heidi will pick some winners for us. But market is here, and I have to admit, it's very strange for me because usually I'm running around today or yesterday or all week with my hair on fire, and that's not happened. I mean, yes, I still have things I need to do, but I'm not staying up till 2:00 in the morning, or I'm not, feel like I'm overwhelmed or any of that stuff. And I had a nice evening last night with Barb Faber and her daughter Rebecca at the gathering, just sitting doing binding. So I don't even have to do my binding. I already did it. And it's just amazing, I think, because we have this beautiful team here that I'm not running around with my hair on fire. So I love it. It's awesome. So I did get my nails done yesterday. So I want to give a little shout out to my new place, my nail stylist, Lily. Yes, I had to do Christmas. So there's my little reindeer she put on my little ring finger. So, and it looks orange on there, but it is definitely red. So I don't know. It must be the lighting. But anyway, so if you're in town here or close and you want to try a new place, she has a partner in VIP Nails in Oshkosh and is right across from Festival Foods. It's really nice and convenient, right by the banks and all that kind of stuff. So I really like it. So go visit Lily and she will hook you up. And if you go in the next 2 months, there's 20% off everything, and you get a cute little gift. So you get a whole bunch of little lotions and some cuticle oil. So it's pretty nice, and it's a beautiful place. Everything is white and a little bit of gray accent. And it's just, I never saw a more beautiful nail salon. So I'm pretty excited about that. So if you're around and you need a good one, she does both Madeline and my nails. All right, then I got to do a little shout out here. My little grandson, Lachlan, is a year and a half. Look at this little guy. Isn't he just cute? Little pumpkin. I think I showed him last year inside the pumpkin. So now he's too big for the pumpkin. But doesn't he look like a grown man?
I thought he was still a baby.
Yeah, he's a year and a half. Yeah, no, he's not a baby anymore.
Boy.
He's definitely a
Time's flying.
strapping boy. And then I just found out maybe a little while ago, but I just had to order tickets last night. I want to do a little shout out for my niece, Addison Huffler. She is a senior at Little Chute High School, and she is going to be in the Addams Family play, and she got the lead. She's Wednesday Addams, so there she is.
Now I see a picture of her. She'll make a good Wednesday.
Yeah, and she's little, like Wednesday too. And I'm just so excited for her because she wanted this so bad. And it is November 13th, 14th, and 15th. If you're local and want to go see the Addams Family High School play, I'm going to be so proud of her. Good job, Addison. I can't wait. All right, so that's kind of the personal messages. And then I do want to do a shout out to our wholesale customer from Always in Stitches, Lynn Burrow, and she is from Noblesville, Indiana. So it's about 30 minutes north of Indianapolis. So if you're in that area, make sure you go and visit Lynn and her staff at Always in Stitches. They order from us wholesale, so I like to let everybody know that they carry Primitive Gatherings items there. And if you need anything, you can always ask her to order. Like if you are looking for certain wool kits and stuff like that, we do wholesale our wool kits here at Primitive Gatherings. All right, so that's it for announcements. Do we have any other announcements that maybe just left us, or Peggy? I suppose I could do the regular announcements too. See if there's anything in here. What's that?
We have a new feature on our live
Oh yeah?
where I can show a QR code. So if they see it up in the corner there, they can scan it for our website. They can go directly to the website.
Oh. So are you mic'd?
No.
All right. So Kaylee just was
Kaylee.
talking.
Here.
She's just talking that she just added that QR code up on top. So is that QR code just for our website? Or is it specific items as well?
I can make it specific items.
Oh.
Today, it is just for our website.
Okay, so we are going to have a new feature going forward. So like today, for instance, I'm going to show you all the new quilts that I'm going to be offering to shops at the fall quilt market that I'm going to tomorrow morning. And you're going to be able to go hit that QR code for each item, not today though, each item in the future, and it'll bring you right to that spot if you want to put it in your cart. So how darn convenient is that, right? So she just showed you that she can put it up there, and those of you who have a phone, click on that and let us know if it works, if it brings you right to our website. And then later on down the road, we'll have a QR code for each quilt that we talk about or each project that we're talking about. So that'll be an extra added ease for you. Hopefully it's not too dangerous or too easy that you can put a whole bunch of things in your cart and just shop away, right? So we want to make it easy for you as possible. All right, so Heidi's got some more announcements in here. I have a postcard from Dear Team Inspiration. I enjoy Unity Quilt Along and looking forward to our next clue. Carol White from Scottsdale, Arizona. Yes, Carol, it's coming soon. She's doing purple. I think that's your thing. She's got a purple dot on our map. All right. Thank you, Carol, for sending that in, even though we're 3/4 of the way almost in.
And that next clue is week 40?
Yes.
That's what you've been saying? Okay.
Yes, week 40 is that last clue. So after that week, you're going to be able to finish up. Just saying. So, but you can still do if you have a schedule and you only do the limited each week, There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, we're going to go all the way till 50 weeks. We're going to keep posting and keep picking winners all the way until the end. All right, so we don't want to discourage you from hurrying up and finish, or if you do hurry up and finish, take pictures weekly still so you can post them and still be eligible for prizes, because we do some fun things. I don't know if we mentioned it, but like the last couple times we did these year-long quilt-alongs, we gave away quilting or a coupon for the store if you didn't want to, if you have, maybe you have your own long arm and want to quilt your own. So we are very accommodating to some of those things. So as well as we're talking about unity, let's pick our week 37 winner is Sharon Grant's Switer. And like I said, week 37 winner. Thank you, Sharon, for that lovely photo. We appreciate you quilting along with us, because isn't it so much fun knowing that everybody else is doing the same things we are? I love it. But yet tweaked up a little different, because they're using different fabrics. They're using some from their stash. They're using some from us. They're picked a different background. But all is good, and we love doing quilt-alongs. And speaking of quilt-alongs, get ready for next year, because we're going to be overloaded with red, white, and blue. But to break that up, guess what is coming in June? So June of 2026 is this guy. So this is Joyful Gatherings 2. You might have, this is not the same size. These are Fat Ace here. But you might still have some Joyful Gatherings 1. And guess what? They all go nicely together. Okay. I'm going to go through these fabrics with you today. So make sure you're comfortable. We're going to go through the quilts. We're going to go through the fabrics. And any questions you have, please put them in the comments and we'll answer them as quickly as we can. All right. Okay, so I'm doing it. I'm opening my first tower or bundle, whatever you want to call it, of our fabric. So you'll be able to order fabrics on sale today, and also kits, backings, all of that stuff is ready for you on our website. Okay, so this print right here is a star with a circle around it. The stars are reds, the dots are green. So this is red, cream, and green. And then we have a couple tone on tones. So this is the two light tone on tones. One of them is like a leaf and the other is 6 dots grouped together. So these are our tone on tone lights that are in the tower. And then we have one of my most favorite prints of all. And this is like a sprig and berries. This one is cream with red. And then we have this kind of funky 2 little squares here. I thought this was fun. It looks like 2 presents, but kind of modern print, even though it came from one of my old quilts. And then we have a poinsettia with red, little white berries, and green stem. And then here's that berry print with both green and red. Yes, and I just want you to know that my fabrics, the colors, this red is traditional red, traditional green. So these are as perfect you can get. They're not tweaked, they're not a little lighter, they're not tomatoey. They are beautiful shades of scarlet red. And they're kind of just 2 kind of shades in here. We'll get to the reds a little bit later. Now, I love diagonal striped fabric, because guess what? When we make binding out of diagonal stripes, it looks like we cut it on the bias. Now we don't have to. How cool is that? So that one has the lighter red and the green in it. And then here we have, I got to shut off my phone. It's making noise. Okay. Then we have this kind of a very packed, complicated little print here with red leaves and or red flowery leaves, and then we have the green little stems and tiny leaves and vines. So this is a little bit darker red on this one. And then we have that same print in just all red. So I love using these prints that are very, I call these mediums. They are not light and they're not dark. They're medium. And I love using these like for sashings, or for, sometimes they're really nice in a background if you have like the blocks be really light and then the color in the middle. So those prints, you got to kind of use them. Like, look at, these are both what I call mediums. So this is a light. See the difference? But they're really all lights, right? But you see how these are going to read different in a block? So sometimes you have to kind of keep track of the value, how these fabrics read. And to me, these are what I call mediums, even though they're technically lights. So what are you going to do with this houndstooth? I have a pretty good idea what we should do with this houndstooth. We should do this, this, and this. Because what does this make? Gingham. So do you remember when we did gingham quilts out of flannel? Now we're going to make gingham quilts out of cotton. We can do this in red and green in this fabric line. I'm stealing ahead a little bit, right? All right, so now let me get this one out of the way too. Look at this beautiful stripe for candy canes, for binding. I love, like I said, I love stripes for binding. Just see that little bit on there. That makes it look like candy cane. And then we have the red on red houndstooth. And this is a tiny little houndstooth. I gotta show off my little Rudolphs. You know how hard it was to do Christmas when I wanted to be doing pumpkins? All right, so here's the red with red diagonal stripe. And then this is one of my favorite prints because I love stars. But then we have the red and cream stripe, or star. I was looking at the next one here. We have the red tone on tone stripe, but there's a little, what makes this really cool is there's a very thin black line in there as well. So it really makes this stripe more defined.
Can you repeat when this is available?
This is available in June. So everything that I'm going to show you today is on a pre-order when it goes up on our site, and you will see that. So you're going to just put a little bit of money down, and it's going to hold your order and place your order in our queue so we know how much to order. And then we'll know what kits are most popular. We'll know what fabrics you like the best, so we can order heavily on those. Because otherwise, it'll happen what happened last time. So this fabric line, when we first got Joyful Gatherings 1 in, it was gone from our quilt shop in like 2 months. It just flew out of here. So I wanted to do it as quickly as possible again because these fabrics are so nice. And they're very basic fabrics. They can just be in the reds. They can just be, they don't scream Christmas. Okay. And then we have this 6-pack of dots. And this one has kind of a black tone onto it. And then we have the green tones here on the creams. Green houndstooth. And then green stripe. All right, now we're up for the greens. So we have the green poinsettia. The green and cream stars.
We're still on.
Yeah.
So to find these, they just need to put Joyful Gatherings 2 in the search bar on the website, and that should come up then, right?
Okay, yeah. So because we haven't labeled all these fabric, you're not getting a QR code for every single SKU or everything I'm showing you. Eventually we will have that hooked up, but right now we're just going to give you to get to the site. And then Kaylee, I think, is going to put in a link to all the Joyful Gatherings 2 pre-order stuff here. I think she's working on that right now as we speak. All right, so this is the green with the 2 boxes. And then the 6-pack of dots.
All right, here's the QR code in the corner is Joyful Gatherings.
Okay, so now she has updated that QR code. So it's going to bring you right to Joyful Gatherings 2. And then my favorite, Sprig and Berries. And then we have the holly leaves. Yeah, these greens are so beautiful. And then the diagonal stripe. So just take a look at how beautiful these greens are. Greens are so tough right now. We have no green in our store right now on the shelves. And we're not gonna probably have these true greens until June of 2026. And don't make the mistake of waiting too long, or give us a good idea so we know what to order and how much to order so we're not out in 2 months here. Look at these beautiful reds.
Will they go with our Dear Santa line?
Yes, all my reds go together. I do not change my red. All right. Yeah, so good question. So I'll kind of lay these down here. Okay. And then I want to show you. All right, now nobody be mad at me. All right, I just want to show you another thing too. So when I get the strike off, sometimes they're not perfect. All right, so see this? Look at how the real color. So these match this one matches the fabrics. Our strike off was a little brighter. And I'm like, uh-oh, this needs to match the fabric, so it goes with the quilt. But then I want to show you all, oh yeah, I can't show you that one. That has all my corrections to it. All right, let's open the real one. So anybody recognize this? We will be able to rekit that quilt now that we have the red or the Joyful Gatherings 2 fabrics. But we did this in wool applique as our countdown to Christmas quilt last year. These were the wool appliques. So as a fabric designer, not all shops have wools. And I just loved how that quilt turned out last year. And I wanted to be able to have everybody be able to make it. So maybe you liked it too, and maybe now you don't want to give the one you made up. You can make one and gift this one, and nobody will know anything different that it was done in wool at one time. So all you have to do is cut out those squares at 6.5, and you can piece them in the blocks. You'll see what we're going to do with them. All right. And anything that I've done with a 6.5-inch block, yes, that tower, that panel is in the tower. So good question. Yep. That's Darlene, that I pulled that right out of this tower here. There are not as many fabrics as before. I think the last tower that I had from Joyful One had like 10 reds, 10 greens, and like 20 creams. But this one I think has 7 greens, 7 reds, those mediums in between, and then the cream. So I let me see if I can figure out how many total we have. I don't know. I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That makes sense, right? So this one is a little bit more cheaper because it doesn't have as many fabrics in that. Moda likes to listen to the stores, and they don't necessarily like that some of our lines have 40 SKUs in it. I love it. I want the more fabrics, the better. But I get why sometimes it's nicer to have a little bit smaller line. So we're going to listen to them shop owners because they are the ones who buy these fabrics. Okay, is the panel also available as a standalone purchase? Yes, the panel comes as running yardage. Yep, absolutely. So I hope your head is kind of thinking about what you can do with that panel. If you have a really good relationship with your local quilt shop, please tell them about all what I am showing you today, or just tell them about this video, or send them this video and say, I really, really want this fabric line. All right. Or if you don't get it, I'm going to buy it from Primitive Gatherings. But it's really nice if, you buy some stuff from me, I sell out. And then, if your local quilt shop has some of it, that's always nice too, right? To go in there to maybe get backings or bindings or other things, or maybe you made a boo-boo and you don't want to order and wait. You can just run into your local quilt shop the next day. And I always just want to say that if we don't support those local little shops, not only our quilt shops, our little clothing boutiques, our little bookstores, our little gift stores, if we don't support those, they are going away. All right, so please shop small, like they tell us. We need to shop small, okay?
There is some interest in half yard bundles and full yard bundles of this fabric.
Okay.
What do you have to say about that?
I'm sure Jess already has that. If not, we will get those added, okay? So Amy can easily add that, I'm sure. They just probably forgot about it because, last minute, I'm going to talk about this. So we are just, cruising along right here, pushing these boxes out the door, getting ready for this, that, and everything. So just a little FYI, the sweatshirts have arrived, the mugs have arrived. So those will all be going out in waves. Everything is here. It's so exciting. Okay, so those are the fabrics that I wanted to show you first, and then I'm going to show you the quilts. But I'm going to take a drink here first. All right, so let's start off with the background quilt behind me. This is called Kaleidoscope, Christmas Kaleidoscope. It is 88 by 88. If you don't want it that big, just make it a little smaller, right? Maybe you don't want to do those big half square triangles. It's all half square triangles too. So it's very easy to make. You make them in rounds. So first, like the first clue you're going to get in the directions is the stars. And then the next one is cutting and making that first round around that center star. So then you piece that together. Then you make that next ring, and then the next ring. And then, so it's very easily made. And let me tell you, I think I'm doing so much better because I have Madeline helping me piece, and her and I did all but 2 of these quilts in 2 weeks. So I'm very proud of us, how well we did. And I was here pretty much every day bringing another quilt in to get quilted so we could pull this off. But this quilt is so gorgeous in person as well. I don't have numbers on kit prices, but those are all on our website. And remember, it's a pre-order. You put down a reservation fee that is non-refundable. So if something drastic happens and you would have to cancel your pre-order, you don't get your $5 back or whatever it is, but you're not on the hook for the kit then. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And then let's talk about what is next. All right, so hang on. I got to do. All right, so this was the last quilt I just finished. This one is called Wisconsin Christmas. Hey, Amy. They're asking for half yards and 1 yard bundles for Joyful too.
I will have to get them up. Jess has to give me
information, we will do that.
Okay. So it's on Amy's list, everyone, okay? So there you go. This was fun. It's 7 different blocks. So do you see how you have red Ohio stars, you have green Ohio stars, you have all green Ohio stars right there. Then you have quarter blocks, you have half blocks. So this was fun to do, actually. And then you have the like stair-stepping ones there. This one is called Wisconsin Christmas, and its details are, I got old details. The size is wrong. Okay, I know it's like 57. Do you have it right?
Knew the processes we go through to get all of this.
Well, because we, these are the original cut sheets before we proof them all.
Yeah,
And I know it's wrong because this quilt is not 60 by 60.
I wonder, are these maybe?
No, those are the first ones
These are the
too.
first ones too?
Yeah. So I know we corrected it. Do you remember what it was?
I don't, I never got that correction. I wanted to
Oh
ask you
yeah,
about
it's
that.
not 60 by 60.
Call Terry.
Okay.
Anyone's got.
Hey Amy, why don't you just measure it? Here you go.
Here I go.
Yeah, just measure it.
All right.
Don't bug her.
Then I'll adjust the backing too as needed.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, it's probably very close, but all right. Okay, what's next? I'm revisiting all these beauties. All right, so here we took the trees. Yep, Heidi or Kaylee's got the whole picture there. And then I'll show you the close-up. So see how we cut those into the quilt blocks then? The only thing is if you did our stitch along with this tree, I had to resize the tree. So if you have the pattern that had the old blocks, I think that old block that went in there was 5 inches. This is a 6-inch block in that tree now. So I had to resize all the measurements on each tree. What was the size, Amy?
52 by 60.
52 by 60. All right. That's pretty reasonable, right? All right. So this quilt is called Whispering Pines. And it is, let's do size. It is not on my sheet. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It is 86. It's not 86. No, it is. All right. So I want to show you something. See the quilt here? When I write directions, right now this is 86 by 104. When I made the quilt, I pieced it with the trees going this way. So I can put this over my bed. And then I have 4, 3, or 4, 3, or I might even have 5, 3, 5, 3. So you're going to see it done 2 different ways, whatever way is going to work best for you. But I have a king size bed. And if I just turn this way, it's 104 this way, goes over the bed. And then it's short on the bed, but that's where all my pillows are. So that's how I want my quilts. I don't want to make huge 100 by 100 quilts all the time, especially when I don't need that extra up on top by the pillows. Does anybody else like that or understand why I do that? I'd be interested in to know your thoughts on that. All right, this is Kaylee's favorite. Our favorite quilt block, the bear paw. So we conveniently name this Polar Bear. So it's just a beautiful bear paw with a bunch of little half square triangles around the outside edge. This quilt measures 51 by 71. So a lot of these quilts are sized for what I call decorating quilts. And then of course we have some bed size quilts as well. All right, show them the picture of this one first. So the next one is called something chain, Christmas chain. You don't have it? Okay. So let me just talk to you a little bit about it first. This is, if she had a picture of it, zoom in on it. So we were kind of playing around with this, and we were kind of giving you the idea, if you wanted to put applique in there, you could put some little poinsettias in there. You could put them in every block. You could just put them in the middle and make, just the center blocks. So we're kind of trying to give you some ideas on this one. It is 69 by 69, and it is 8 blocks, I believe, 8 red and 8 green, and then you just alternate them. And I did strip piece it for the most part. All right, this one is, yes, this one is called, what? Poinsettia Lane, and it is 88 by 88. I'm just going to give you a little close-up of, so see how we used that medium as a little like feather print through that? And it's just gorgeous. So thanks to Jean Westfall, one of my customers, she was walking in through the door one day and I'm like, hey, how about making a sample for me? So Terry Hillman made the polar bear, and Jean Westfall made the poinsettia lane, and Maddie and I made the rest. All right, where's the little quilt? The little poinsettia.
I didn't see that one yet.
I bet you it's downstairs.
Where?
It's downstairs. They can just, it's downstairs on the table by Amy.
You want me to grab it?
Sure, if you want. All right. So, anybody recognize this? How many of you have done this? So this was our quilt along with Joyful One, and this is Joyful One's fabrics. I'm not going to redo this, but it's such a cool quilt that I wanted people to be able to run this as a block of the month in their shops. So this one is called the Joyful Gatherings Quilt Along, and it is 92 by 94. And I just changed the yardage to accommodate the less greens. So we had less greens in this new line than we did in this one, but it's all good, right? They're all, so you have 3 trees of each instead of 2. No big deal. And this is 25 different trees. And by all means, you could always make runners out of this. And I don't know, a couple years ago when I did this as a quilt along, I had my quilt blocks done. And then I made a second set of blocks when I did all the videos. So there's a whole set of videos on this quilt as a quilt along that you can watch as an individual, or you could your shop could be running those and teaching you how to piece these tiny little blocks, as some people think they're tiny, and they are tiny for some people. They do use 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch half square triangles, but everything uses paper. So you're gonna be guaranteed accuracy if you use those papers and you stitch 1/4 inch. All right. So, this is one of my favorites too. I'm glad you just hustled right down there, didn't you?
Heck yeah, buns of
Yeah.
steel.
So I wanted to not miss this opportunity to redo this as a quilt along. Okay. Now, am I going to be like week after week talking about it? I don't know. Depends on how many we have people doing it. We will decide that and go from there. Okay. Because it doesn't start until next June. So we have some time to plan, and you can tell us what you want. Do you want us to talk about weekly blocks and run the weekly blocks again? Because all we have to do is take those YouTube videos and feature them again, right, Kaylee? Okay, so no big deal, and all the work is already done. Whew. Okay, so last but not least, what do you got?
Are you going to have a book with all these patterns in?
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good thing, right? So we had come up with this very creative name for this book, and it's called Joyful Gatherings 2. And it features 7 of these quilts that I showed you. This one is a single pattern, the quilt along. All right, this is not in the book. This last one here, our little poinsettia, is in the book as well. So this is all 7 then, minus the quilt along quilt that was in the book. And this one is 25 by 25. Again, super easy to make. We make these little strip sets, piece of cake. And that quilt is like 3 different blocks. So went together almost in a day. Okay. Looking around, because I always forget something. All right. Any questions for me at all?
Is the book on pre-order?
The book is on pre-order. Yes. Good question. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. We'll see. What a great quilt show. Can't wait to get it. Yep. So I'm sure my Instagram feed over the weekend will be flying full of all the things that we're doing at market. So I'll be taking some pictures of all the cool things I find there and hopefully talking about them for weeks and weeks after. If there's anything that you want me to look at, if you're here local and want me like, hey, check out, Zen Cheeks, I saw her this, or check out this, or I want this, or whatever. You can always let us know what you're looking for. I'm sure if you're following some of the motor designers on their Instagram, they're all talking about it because we had to wait until Friday of last week. That's why I couldn't tell you last Thursday about this. And so everybody's talking all about all the things that they have been making. And it's just fun to see what everybody does. And there are a lot of new designers again for Moto. So it's kind of exciting to see all the things happening. Bought 12 cans of starch. Yes, Nicole, whenever you see 12 cans, you just scoop them right up. I know there were some ladies in the retreat house rubbing it in the other day, like, yeah, I can still go to Walmart and I can still buy starch. I'm like, every time I go to Walmart, I strike out. But to tell you the truth, I really love it when it comes right to my door. I order right from faultless.com. There's a discount if you order a lot. And, you could order your starch for a whole year. It's like $2.25 a can, something like that. Yes, Camille's kitties are so cute. Who wouldn't want a little kitten?
They're wondering if or where Market is.
Oh, so if you're not familiar with Market, all right, so here's what's happening. So for the last, let's see, how many years? I've been going to Market for 25 years. My first Market was in Kansas City in the year 2000. So, this is 25 years of Market for me. I should give out some prizes while I'm there. Caramels. I'm bringing caramels. Come see me. I have 1 bag of vanilla and 1 bag of sea salt. So I will have those in my booth. All right. So Market is where we go. And I'm in the Moda booth because I am a designer for Moda, and they have the booth there. And we go in there and we set up a little display of all of our quilts and what we have to offer, what we've made with our fabric lines that Moda is featuring in the booth. And let me tell you, there's a couple other quilt patterns that we will get on our site too as well, because Wendy Shepard did a design with my fabric line, and so did Coach House Designs. So I just saw those today in our little spot where we go and get all the information from. So I seen that those two submitted another design that we will have available as well. So keep checking and just come here on lives on Thursday, and I'll keep telling you about everything that's going on when we get those. But if you want to secure yourself some fabrics, we're going to be doing quilt alongs. You need for the quilt along for the joyful, you're going to need more than a fat quarter. All right. So I can't say just order the fat quarter tower. If you had the fat quarter tower and a couple of the greens, you would be able to do it. But I have to add a little bit more yardage. So we'll have a kit for our quilt along that you can order that, and then you'll get everything that you need for it. Okay. All right. Yes, the caramels are so good.
Weekend quilt, is that coming out tomorrow?
What?
The next weekend quilt?
Yes, yes. So let me show you. We have ready for you. Does anybody get their countdown fabrics yet? I would be interested to know that. I know they have gone out the door. But let me see. I got my book of life here that has all the stuff in it. All right. So look you got a sneak peek at the first block. So Christmas countdown, we are ready for tomorrow is the 3rd of October. And our first clue is going to be sent to your email, or so you can print it, right? It's all downloads. And then if you got the kit, you got the appliques for everything. So you can be tracing and cutting and doing all that stuff ahead. But our first block here is the reindeer. That's why I got the reindeer. All right. And now I want to just please, if you are doing this, on point. So see this big red line here? Make sure your blocks are laid out on point. So when you open your pattern here, you're going to see this. You're going to see this crosshair in here, because when you fold your fabric into fourths and make that crease, this is how it's going to lay out. This is how you're going to put this on your light box and lay your pieces on there and draw in your snowflakes, because I didn't. So we have little corners sewed on each block. You're not going to see it, I know, but I don't want you to do what I did, because I was in such a hurry to get Alicia these because she wanted to stitch them, that I laid them out like this.
So if they got the kits, do they still need to go download that
Yeah.
pattern?
You need the pattern.
So
you
they
need
won't get a printed version. They still have to go into their.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the. I'm not sure
I don't
yet.
know what we did. Whatever we did years before.
I guess if it comes with no pattern, check your account for the download. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Where's Jess when we need her? Hanging out
Right.
at Cranberry Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jess is she up north?
Yeah,
Well,
Eagle
yeah.
River.
Yeah. Jess is going to the Cranberry Festival, so good for her. Okay. So I hope you're excited about Countdown.
Diana says no printed version.
No
So,
printed version. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Jess would have remembered that.
mhm.
How can we get yardage needed for a specific pattern? So we know how much to pre-order. You could call our customer service, and they have all these sheets, and they have all the yardages for what is used in this quilt. So like, give me an idea. Like, you want more border, you want more background. What does that mean? Because the fabrics, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're like needing, but I'm sure we'll do the best we can to help you. I wish I was going to Cranberry Festival. I know, right? I can't wait till after market. I'm going to go to Fall Fest in Door County.
Read the one right above that one.
Which one?
Do we starch the Lella fabrics for background on evergreen? Because of the wool applique, I'm hesitant to starch.
Right. Okay, so here's what we did. And remember, this is just what I did. It's not right or wrong. You can do whatever you want. We did not starch the green. you're going to start your red and your cream. So when you first get these directions, it's going to say, do not start your green. And it's going to say, start your red and cream fabrics for next week. You're going to cut your green fabrics to what we tell you. You're just going to work on blocks this week. We didn't want you to do too much the first week because we knew we were going to market. I was going to be gone, so we're going to just give you simple stuff. You're going to cut your 13 blocks, and then you're going to work on your green. You're not going to starch it. If you want to starch it, starch it. Maybe you just give it a little starch. Okay, but you're going to cut 14 inches, and then when the block is done, you're going to cut it down to the exact size that you need. Okay, this quilt is probably one of those because it has wool applique on it. It's not very big, right? It's going to be like a wall quilt. It's going to be a decoration. It's not going to be one you're going to throw on your bed and use. At least I'm not going to. I know people do, and they are very successful at it. They throw it in the washer and the dryer and all that, okay? I just can't do that. But, okay? But, Dana, you don't have to worry about, you're going to starch your cream and your red because you're going to patchwork them, and those are little. But when you sew those on to that green, that doesn't need to be starched. We're not piecing that green. You're only doing big blocks and big setting blocks, big setting triangles with the green. That's it. There's nothing that you're going to piece with that green. So calm it down a few little pitter patters, okay? You get a break. You don't have to starch that 5 yards of green or whatever that is. Okay, how are we doing? Are we all done? We all done for today? I get to go home and pack and, you know, just kind of take my time and make sure I have some stuff. And oh, I do want to point out that I always do some extra kits, pillows, runners, Christmas stuff to go along with the quilts. I just need to have all the fabrics so we can order the yardages for the quilts now. And then I always do some extra little companion projects to go in the book as well. So you get 7 quilt patterns plus the other little items. Okay? Yes, you will be able to pre-order everything. If that quilt along quilt is not up there, you let me know if it's not available for pre-order.
There's a question on your screen.
Can we tear the blocks like Summer Romance? You bet. Why, Joanne? Because you're going to trim them down. So yes, they will all be straight of grain then. There's no borders. Well, there is border on this quilt. It's actually on the outside and it's only like 3 inches. So, but it can be pieced. 3-inch border, no big deal. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. I'm going to pick some winners, and Heidi's going to send you some prizes out, and then I'm going to pack all these beautiful quilts up in the big fat suitcase, and off we go to Houston. So this week's winners are Ann Donzi, Carla Sell, and Paula Cometti. You are the winners of the live here today. So thank you for joining us here at Primitive Gatherings, where every stitch tells a story. Bye now, everyone.